and welcome. Today, I would like to present two stellar members of the New England community, Jharna Madan and Parveen Minocha. Jharna Madan is a senior interior designer and project manager and a TV Asia correspondent in Boston. Jharna is involved in numerous community and charitable organizations. No good activity in Boston happens without Jharna being a core team member of that. She has been a passionate ACL supporter for over 10 years and now has initiated a wonderful art program and contest called Indie Art for ACL. Thank you, Jharna, and welcome to Lokvani.
Thank you, Ranjani Auntie, for that amazing introduction. It's always a pleasure and honor to talk to you.
Thank you. And then we have our other superstar right here, Parveen Minocha, who is a senior development manager at Oracle, leading the planning products for the retail business unit. While she's a technologist at heart, she's compassionate about the power of education and compassionate about service. She is part of several nonprofit organizations, but ACL holds a special place in her heart. She has served as its past president, and under her leadership, ACL became a household name in the Boston community. And she has partnered with Jharna to make indie art a huge success. Welcome, Parveen to Lokvani.
Thank you, Ranjani ji. Pleasure to be here.
This is such an honor today, I have to say. Two of my favorite people. And so, Parveen ACL is in your blood, in your heart. So could you tell me why? I know that you've worked with many nonprofits, and yet you chose to give a significant amount of time to ACL. Why ACL means so much to you? And could you tell us a little bit about this organization?
So Ranjani ji, it starts with, strong belief in education, that education is the best way to solve world problems. And the inspiration for education starts at home. I think back, my father, he started his education in a single teacher school back in the undivided India. And my mother was also a school teacher. She gave up her job to take care of the family. Today, my sister, she runs her own school. My brother, he moved back from US to India just to bring the best of both worlds in the field of education. So this is something which is very, very dear to my heart. And the ACL mission, it just resonates with this. They're single teacher model schools reaching out to the rural, remote parts of India. And the way they have scaled and produced results, the change doesn't happen overnight, but slowly and surely for past more than 30 plus years, they're doing this. And we can see now there are 100,000 such schools running across the country and reaching out to 3 million plus children. So they are changing lives in a way that we haven't imagined. So that's the passion behind ACL and my own involvement.
That's fantastic to hear that. I know 100,000 rural remote villages, 3 million children who would not probably have an opportunity otherwise to get an education. So I completely, sympathize and understand with what you're talking about. Now, for you though, I think you're just not talking about it as an informational piece. You actually have had a chance to visit the ACL villages. Could you tell us a little bit about it? And is it really true that it's a great organization doing great work?
Absolutely. As Ram Nehraji, our founder of the ACL New England chapter, he says, you have to go and visit an ACL school and then believe for yourself. I think that was true for my family too. And we had the opportunity to visit ACL schools in Gujarat. And believe me, it was one of the most humbling experience. The parents and the elders of the village, they just treated you with so much respect that you have been a source of education for their children. And meeting those young kids, it was just amazing. They were so full of life. happy, and they had dreams for their future. You know, that night when we came back home, I had this little poem going in my head, which I thought was most befitting for my experience meeting those children. If I can share, it's in
Please.
Hindi though. तरन्नुम मैं भी छेड़ सकता हूँ, तरन्नुम मैं भी छेड़ सकता हूँ, तुम साज हाथों में दे दो, हकीकत में बदल सकता हूँ, तुम ख्वाब आंखों में दे दो, सितारे भी तोड़ लाऊंगा, तूफान से भिड़ जाऊंगा, अंधेरा मैं मिटाऊंगा, तुम शिक्षा का चिराग हाथों में दे दो. That's how I felt, you know, all that's what they were looking for, with education being the hope for the future they are all dreaming for. So amazing experience visiting an Ekal school, nothing like it.
Nothing like it. Shiksha ka chirag haathon mein de do. And that is what Ekal is doing, you know. 3 million chirag, right? Like that is pretty incredible. So Jharna, now you got involved in Ekal as well. Why Ekal for you? And I know that you brought this very innovative program, Indie Art, and you are giving, I know how busy you are, and yet you are giving so much time to do this. So tell us, how did you come up with this idea and why Ekal to implement it?
Thank you, Auntie. Why Ekal? I think Parveen said it so beautifully. It's such a wonderful organization bringing education to deep, deep rural parts to children and helping with the socio-economic development of the villages. I mean, we need that for India to develop, and Ekal does that in such a beautiful and volunteer basis. And I said 100,000 schools, 3 million children, and so many different programs just to uplift not just the children but the villages itself. I mean, it's such a noble cause for everybody to be part of, and you know, that's how I got drawn into Ekal about 10 years back, and I became a volunteer for the Boston chapter. And I always kept having ideas as to, you know, thinking as to what can be done. And I think one of the things I was very keen is, how do you connect children here to children back in India? And I remember discussing, you know, India with you, and at that point of time, Dr. Java Mehta Joshi, and I said, you know, I want to run a contest. I want to run an art contest so that children can learn about Ekal. So in my opinion, you can't instill the concept of charity in a child. You can't just say, hey, you need to give back. Hey, you know, this is what you should do. You need to teach them. You need to teach them subtly. They need to learn from their own experience how important it is to give back, what the meaning of unprivileged means, and how you can help another child. So I think that was the basic concept behind running an Indie Art contest. And that time we started in 2013, and we had targeted it only for children at that point of time. And we had prize money that we were giving out to the winners. And Auntie, if you remember, very gratifyingly, we realized that a lot of kids that won that money donated it back to Ekal. So for us, for me, that was that success. Even if we reached a few families, even if we reached a few children, and they got the concept that, hey, I'm privileged and somebody out there is unprivileged, and even if I donate some money, it's going to go such a long way to improve their life. So I think that's what got Indie Art going, and it was quite successful. I think for the first 2 years and 3-4 years that we ran it, and I think with time, eventually, it kind of went away. And then obviously, you know, I tried to. This year we revived it back because again, COVID hit. We were all home and stuck, and most schools here went digital. But what's happening in the Ekal schools? What's happening in the villages? Life came to a standstill, and the concept of reviving Indie Art back was to kind of focus and, you know, highlight the importance of digital education in today's world, and then also to then empower the rural children, the Ekal children, with tablets, so that their life doesn't come to a standstill. Their education constantly keeps going. So that is, you know, with 100,000 schools, the next goal I know is we need to digitalize all those schools so that we are empowering the children even more. Their education never stops. They can keep going. So in a nutshell, that's where, you know, we kind of revived Indie Art this year to kind of launch it in a big way.
Sure. And boy, did you launch it in a big way. But I have to say that when I went to, you know, India, and they were, when I was talking to kids who were getting digitally literate, I asked them, why this is important to you, and they said, दीदी आपने हमें भविष्य की ओर हाथ लगाने का अवसर दिया है. You have given us an opportunity to touch the future, and I definitely believe that digital literacy is required, because otherwise you will be illiterate in the future. So now this year it has really blossomed. You have over 30 indie art ambassadors who are leading artists, who are not only giving their time to give an outreach for it, but are also presenting some workshops. So Parveenji, I know you have been moderating some of these workshops. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how that is going?
Absolutely. So as you said, 30 plus ambassadors, oh my God, they are enlightening our lives. These days, our days start with their conversations, and each one of them bringing such unique skill set. So, and Jharna has done some crazy schedule planning with them. Imagine fitting all those workshops in this, short period of time. Uh, the contest ends August 31st. So we have workshops running, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. And some Sundays there'll be 2 sessions, one in the morning, another one in the evening. So what we do is we work with the artist on what they want to present and look at their proposal, what we can execute in an hour's time, and it remains unique. And then we get through the supply list from them, send out a notification. We have our Zoom meetings going on, and as tech savvy as we can be, we got so organized. We had to be, I would say, the way we grew.
Sure.
Yeah, so we have.
What I'm seeing is that the variety of art forms, right? That's really absolutely blowing my mind. I mean, it's going from Renaissance art to Varli to Madhubani.
Exactly.
Is that been one workshop that has really been just out there, innovative, unusual, that you might want to talk about?
Each one has been unique. So we have spanned from, say, traditional Indian art forms, Madhubani, Varli, and so on, and then Varli with a modern twist, to this amazing sketching session we had, landscape painting, and so on. So they've been so intricate and so engaging that we are just simply amazed. And the comments we are getting from the participants, they are the joy that we get at the end of it, and we want to keep going.
How many participants do you have now, do you think, for the Indie Art competition?
I think we have more than 500 entries for the contest now. And yeah, this would be families coming together. Yeah. People are saying it's been amazing bonding time for them. Grandma, grandson, mother, son, mother, daughter, all sorts of combinations. And our Facebook page that we have for Indie Art has grown, I think 500 plus members there as well. So hats off to our little social media team that we have. So yeah. It's just, tremendous, overwhelming, I would say, at this point. We are only trying to scale.
That's awesome. So Jharna, did you expect this outcome when you started this? I mean, I know it started as a national art contest, and it seems like you have built an art ecosystem. And are you planning, I'd love to know more about that. And what are you planning to do with this great asset that you have created?
Absolutely, Andy. When we started, absolutely, we had no idea. We had no idea. We launched Indie Art for the first time nationally. We collaborated with Kolasman in India they're helping us manage the application and the judging process of this entire contest. Our entry fee was only $5 because obviously, when we discussed, we didn't want that entry fee to be burdening on any family. So $5 was something that nobody even blinked about. And in the art ambassadors, we always get ambassadors who are art teachers and artists to join us, to help us promote this contest, to help us support this contest. And I think one by one, कहते हैं ना वो लोग जुड़ते रहे और कारवा बनता चला गया. And I just went from artist to artist, and then I always tried to reach out to artists outside New England. And I was just overwhelmed with the positive response I got. I'm like, I'm happy to say I made 35 calls and I got 30 ambassadors to sign up, which was absolutely amazing. I never thought we would get that success rate. And that happened. Why, Auntie? Because it was an Ekal, because they believed in that philosophy of Ekal. They believed in what we were doing, and they believed that how important digital education is. So it was a complete validation of being part of Ekal that kind of helped us get so many wonderful artists from around the country to join. And once the artists joined, and once we started these workshops, people just started kind of, joining. And now it's like an everyday other day phenomena. People wait for the indie art workshop. They
Yeah.
sit. I mean, we've seen participants repetitively coming. We recognize them. The families are coming. As Parveen said, we're overwhelmed with the response that we have gotten. It's absolutely gratifying. And the families are contributing even more than the $5 that we asked for per participant. And that's the beauty of it, that the mission kind of reached them. They realized that how important it is, and $5 doesn't mean anything. So they are actually opening up their hearts and also supporting ACAL. So I think that also is extremely gratifying for us to hear. And we had to, because we were growing at such a large scale, me and Parveen had to kind of scale stuff down. We had to kind of create this methodology to the madness that was going on. We have an amazing website going. All the artists are listed. We have a whole workshop schedule going till August 30th, August 31st, the contest finales, and then Khula Asman will take over from there to get the shortlist and then do the final judgment. So it's been absolutely amazing. 500 plus people have joined. So we're hoping, we still have more than a month to go. So who knows what
Yeah.
golden number we will end with.
Right. I think I saw even your mother-in-law is a participant, and I think there are kids as young as 6 who are participating. So
yeah, we have 6 to 80 plus who are participating. And again, I think the way we structured India the stakes, because we said we open nationally to everybody. There's no age restriction. There's no theme restriction in terms of, there is an open category that you can submit anything that you create. Obviously, we have 2 other categories being digital education and colors of rural India, to kind of, combine that whole rural India and digital literacy. So, but it's open for everybody. And I think people have realized, and we've created an art movement. And
I think so. I think so. Kudos to you guys, and I think I'm looking forward to having it stay on and really being an ongoing initiative. Ekal would be so glad if that happens. And I know that you and Parveenji are thinking like that. And I think the website is indie-art.org. And people can go there and, find out about the workshops and also submit their artwork. So that'll be really so, Parveenji, what do you think is the most beautiful outcomes that you have seen coming from indie art? And what do you think is the beautiful outcome of ACAL and digital ACAL that you hope to see in the future?
So I think this has been the art movement, right? As our tagline says, create, inspire, empower. And that's what we are seeing. So it's bringing the communities together in such a beautiful way, to paint together in the Zoom sessions with, say, 200 participants. It's just amazing. And what people are saying is this has been such a stress reliever, it's been therapeutic. And many moms, they like plan for the workshop time. They want a little me time, so they make sure they've done with the work, they put the kids away and just connect with your own inner artist. Not everyone could even think that they could paint, draw, sketch, or so on. But with the ambassadors doing these step-by-step instructions, it's become art for everyone. You're just finding that inner artist. So the same, what we call it, art movement to support the ACAL movement. It's grown nationally. People from all time zones attend our meetings. It's just amazing. And as Jharna was saying earlier, it isn't that $5 entry fee the thing anymore. When we see that people come and donate a school or a digital school, right, for $500,
yeah,
you can do digital school. So that money is also coming in, and I think it's the best thing for ACAL at this point.
Sure. Actually, I was thinking my dream is that maybe in a couple of years when indie art is back, as it continues, maybe every child at ACAL will have, every ACAL school will have tablets in there. And that would be my dream to see. So Jharna, take it away and tell everybody why they should participate in indie art. And why would you continue to do it in the future?
Absolutely, Auntie. Thank you so much. So, Indie art is basically not just a contest, it's an art movement and it's for everybody. And by participating in indie art, you're actually not just giving back to ACL, you're actually enriching yourself with the entire process of art. You are going to be receiving workshops from phenomenal artists across the country, and they are sharing and their experience and their teaching skills with everybody, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And the $5 that you're contributing is going such a long way in helping a tablet get into a child's hand. So it's actually a win-win for everybody, and especially during this pandemic, it's a stress reliever, it's a stress buster, it's something creative, it's something inspiring. And as Parveen said, yes, it's when we are empowering the rural children, and what more can happen. So, and I think we've been getting requests from not just the US, we've been getting requests from other countries that we need to now open up indie art globally. So I think if ACL global is helps us with that, we can actually go global and actually take indie art to pretty much as many countries as we can.
Well, Parveen Jharna ji, get ready, because I know Ekal would be interested. So we'll just, I think God wants you to work more and give even more of yourselves to this beautiful cause, because not only are you bringing digital literacy to Ekal, but you are empowering the American kids with creativity. And that, I think, they are going to thank you forever. So there's much learning, much beauty that is going around. And for me, it has been a joy watching all of this and talking to each one of the artists, who all of them have been saying art is meditation. Art is doing more than just putting colors on a piece of paper. So thank you so much for your compassion, for your creativity. And Ekal thanks you especially for giving your time to support the great cause. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you, Ranjani.